It was the autumn of 1926, in a quiet farming town somewhere in the American Midwest. Every evening, as the sun disappeared behind endless golden fields, an old dirt road became strangely silent. The townspeople believed the road held a secret that had never been explained. Near the end of that lonely road stood a small wooden farmhouse. An elderly farmer named Thomas lived there alone. Every night at exactly 9 o'clock, he placed a glowing oil lantern on his porch and left the front door slightly open. No one knew why. One cold October evening, a young traveler named Samuel arrived after his vintage car broke down several miles away. With nowhere else to stay, he walked to Thomas's farmhouse and knocked on the door. The farmhouse was warm and peaceful, but just after midnight, Samuel heard slow footsteps outside. A moment later, 3 soft knocks echoed through the silent night. Knock, knock, knock. Then a woman's voice whispered from outside, "Please, I need help." The voice sounded so real that Samuel slowly walked toward the front door. Just as Samuel reached for the doorknob, Thomas grabbed his arm and whispered, "I told you, never open the door." Suddenly, the knocking stopped, and complete silence filled the house. The next morning, Samuel asked who had been outside. Thomas looked across the empty fields and quietly said, 20 years ago, a young woman disappeared on this road during a terrible storm. She was never found." Thomas continued, "Since that night, travelers have heard the same voice calling for help. Anyone who opened the door was never seen again." Samuel tried to smile, but fear had already filled his heart. Later that evening, Samuel repaired his car and prepared to leave. But curiosity stopped him. He parked nearby and secretly watched Thomas's farmhouse from a distance. At exactly midnight, the wind suddenly stopped. Out of the thick fog, a mysterious woman dressed in white slowly appeared. She seemed to float above the ground. Then, once again, 3 gentle knocks echoed through the darkness. Knock, knock, knock. The porch lantern suddenly went out, and the mysterious woman disappeared without a trace. Samuel ran toward the farmhouse. Inside, Thomas was sitting quietly, holding the cold lantern in his hands. Without looking up, he said, "Some doors are meant to stay closed." Before sunrise, Samuel left the town forever. Even today, some travelers claim they still hear 3 soft knocks on that lonely road during cold autumn nights.